Hi, welcome back to my channel. Let's live authentically with Krista. I just wanted to drop a video today to hopefully encourage someone to not give up. So there are so many times in our life where we just have to hit that reset button. We have to hit that reset button every day because sometimes you wake up in a bad mood. You wake up, and it's just like your day is starting out crappy, but you can hit that reset button. Just because you started a certain way doesn't mean that you have to finish that way, you know? Just because you have, a bad experience that happened doesn't mean that you have to finish that way, you know? And I've done that so many times in my life, especially in the last few years, in the last couple of years. If I am starting my day off on a wrong note, I reflect and then I just hit that reset button. I start again. I start again, again and again. There's been sometimes in my life where, in my family, sometimes how we're talking to each other isn't always correct. And sometimes when I'm recognizing it myself, I start again. I start again. I start again. I apologize. And when it's my kids are coming off wrong towards me, I'll tell them, go leave the room, and I want you to try again. Come into the room again, and I want you to try again, and I want you to show up a better way for me. Like I do this in my life. If things are not flowing smoothly in my house, then I bring things to the surface. I bring it to the table, and just one of my conversations that I had with one of my kids recently, they didn't want to share things. They didn't want to. They were suppressing them. But I'm just like, just say it. I'm like, just say it. I'm like, it doesn't matter what it is. Just say it. Just say it, because if you don't say it, then how can anything ever get solved? If you don't say it. And in my house, I try to really allow them to share how they feel without judgment. Now, if it comes and undermines my authority as a mama, because, I'm their mommy, I'm supposed to train them in the way they should go, right? So if they try to undermine me and disrespect me, then yes, I will bring it to their attention, and I do hold them accountable for that, but I really try to do that in a loving way. And I know that as a mom, I don't expect my kids to be perfect. I don't. They're not perfect. They're not a robot. I cannot say do this, this, and this, and this, and this, and expect them to show up the correct way all of the time. It just, I know that. But that's where grace comes into. It's just like we don't have it right all of the time. And I've even in as a mama, I recognize my faults. As a friend, as whoever, like I recognize my faults, and I really try to show up differently. I apologize and I show up differently. But I recently had a situation where I wasn't up to par in my mommyhood with one of my kiddos. And I recognized it. Actually, it was brought to my attention through someone else. And I knew right away that I messed up. Now, I didn't necessarily, I wasn't, basically the problem is I was loving on my child. I was loving on them, but it wasn't enough during their time of struggle. It wasn't enough. And I recognized that, and I felt bad for it. But it's those moments when you recognize what you do wrong, when you recognize your faults, that's when you can hit that reset button again, and then you can try and show up better, And there's been several times, over this over the last week, where I just like, I didn't like that. I didn't like that, you know? And it's just like God will humble me and he'll bring it to my attention. And I will apologize to my little child, my young child. I will apologize to her. It doesn't matter. You know, if I feel that I've been wrong, I will apologize. It doesn't matter, you know? So I don't know. I hope this helps someone, but it's just like hit the reset button to your life. If you don't like how you're showing up for yourself, then try again. Start again, you know, with it comes with discipline. It's just like it takes discipline to show up in a better way for yourself. And it's the same thing for your relationship. It takes understanding and knowing, you know, like if you don't like how you've showed up, if you don't like how you're showing up for your relationships, just hit that reset button and try again. Try again and again and again and again until it works, you know? Anyone who's supposed to be a part of your life is going to give you grace. They're going to love you. They're going to meet you right where you're at. So try again. Start again, but don't quit. Don't quit. And you can't suppress anything. And one of my kiddos was trying to do that. They were trying to suppress what they were feeling. They wanted to bring it to the surface, but we have to bring those to the surface because that's what brings unity, you know? That's what brings unity. So we can't sweep things under the rug and expect anything to go anywhere. It's when we have to bring those things to the surface. And that's doing that inner work, which is that self-examination. That self-examination is what can bring transformation. And this is why I'm a huge reflector. I would say I feel like I'm the queen of reflecting because this is what I do. I do this so much, like every day. I reflect on how I show up. I reflect on how I show up for my relationship. I reflect on what I can do better as a person. And it's that self-examination that brings the transformation, not only to your life, but to your relationships. Your self-examination on how you show up for people. And if you don't feel like you've been quite up to par, that's when you can take that, you can own up that stuff, you can own it, and then you can just show up better. But don't quit. Don't quit. Don't quit and just give up because it's sometimes hard. You know, it's not easy all of the time to be vulnerable, but I've learned that it's that vulnerability, that being uncomfortable for just a minute, for just a moment. It's just like that is what helps you become comfortable. So you got to be uncomfortable for a moment to be comfortable, you know? So yeah, I don't know. I hope that this really helps someone, but I've just been really reflecting on just like my past week, even with my kiddos, you know, and just like ways that I've messed up and that I am not a perfect human being, you know, but I really try to humble myself, you know. And there was even a situation today with one of my kiddos. Today, I'm not even kidding, like today, you know, I had to keep one of my kiddos accountable for what they did, you know, and it came with some discipline, you know. And right away, they said, I'm not making any excuses. They knew they did wrong. They weren't making excuses for what they did. And I said, you know what? I really appreciate, I love your humility. I love that you're being humble right now because the Lord honors our humility. He honors our humility, you know. He loves when we're humble people. He loves when we apologize. He loves when we're taking ownership of our stuff. And when we hit that reset button and then we do it again, we try again, but then we do it better. We do it better. We're using those mistakes that we made and we're finding wisdom from it. And then we're hitting that reset button again, and then we're trying again. So whatever it is that's going on in your life, hit the reset button. Try again and again and again until it works. You know, just like, don't give up. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on your relationships. Don't give up on your marriage, you know, or your future marriage. If you know who you're supposed to be with, don't give up on them. Don't suppress your feelings. Bring it to the surface. Okay? Don't hide it, because when you are suppressing the things in your life, when you're not doing the inner work and examining yourself, and when you're not healing, it's just like it brings delays to your life. And you don't want to be delayed. You know, there are so many people that are hurting today. They've gone through so much hardship in their life, and that the pain and the heartache and all of that trauma that they've gone through, it keeps them back from where they're supposed to be. You know, it's so important to heal. It's so important to heal and to really like remove distractions and just do that inner work, which is that self-examination and leaning on the Lord. You know, if you got healing and trauma and pain and all of these stuff that has happened to you, it's when you sit with the Lord and really ask Jesus to help you with your heart and with your mind and to transform you. He is the answer. You know, he was my answer. I know he's the answer, because he's the way, the truth, and the life. And no one comes to the Father except through him, you know? So I hope that this video has really helped someone. But yeah, don't give up. Don't quit. Don't quit. Start again. Try again. So that you can be where the Lord wants you to be. Okay, I feel that's all I have to share. I feel led to stop here. I hope that this video has helped someone. If it has helped you, like the video, comment below, subscribe if you want to stay connected. I'll see you next time.